Sites TikTok. Aha, go there, go there, go there, go there, go there, and be a part of this conversation. Go there and subscribe. Alright, have you subscribed? Okay, I should give you 1 more minute. Okay, I'm giving you 1 more minute. Go there and subscribe. You would see that we're live there already. You know the saying, they say that when their house appears to be crumbling, a wise man does not pray for the roof. He starts drawing the plan for a new home. And that is what Afenifere, led by, especially with this being championed by the Director of Research for Afenifere, Dr. Akinfakpona, appears to be doing. With that document that I just briefed you about. And you know what? Afenifere, especially Dr. Akinfakpona, is saying this is not a position paper. This is something really serious, especially one that will change the trajectory of governance in Nigeria. Is making it clear that, see, this centralized system no longer works. Or perhaps it doesn't work as much as we expect it to. And so now is the time to perhaps take some sort of U-turn and move into an era where each region would be responsible for its own fate. Huh? But the big question is Nigeria even ready for a regional constitution? One that exists, or perhaps exists alongside, or perhaps instead of the 1999 constitution? That's a question that we'll be looking at this morning. Now, joining me via telephone this morning is the architect of this vision, Dr. Akinfakpona. This is not the first time that we are having this sort of conversation. Recall I said earlier, that document about returning us to an era of parliamentary system, a regional system. I think that was sometime early last year when we had that conversation with him. And now he is back for a more robust, conversation that we would have this morning. Good morning, Dr. Akinfakpona. Thank you for joining me or joining us on Reflections on Adami Mogo 93.1 FM.
Good morning to you. Good morning to listeners all over Western Nigeria, all over the world. Good morning. I'm glad to be here.
Thank you very much. So, this is not the first paper. I know that you had done a constitutional draft earlier. I think it's good that we take it up from there. The reaction was obviously in the public massive. And I recall that you wrote a letter not just to the president, but also to the leadership of the National Assembly. What was the outcome of that conversation? Did they even reply to your letters?
Thank you very much. The problem we have in Nigeria is similar to the problem in the Bible when you have the wall of Jericho. The wall of Jericho did not just fall down. It took a massive effort of the Jews to push the wall down. The political class in Nigeria, they are enjoying, they are feasting on the little money available to Nigeria. Crude oil money. The crude oil money is not sufficient. They are borrowing massively to just finance a profligate lifestyle, buying SUVs, commissioning big buildings, renovating federal secretariat, not addressing the problem of the masses. So they are busy. They are paying themselves millions every month. they don't want to live it, so it's not going to be easy. It's not easy. When we talk, they know what you are saying, the truth, but because they're just feeding on the masses of Nigeria. And even Yoruba leaders, senators, they don't talk, they don't say anything because we are trying to be reasonable to them now that, look, time is expiring gradually. We should not wait for a violent revolution before they can see reason. So the House of Afenifere is now even changing gear. We have been talking about the kind of house we want to build, but we never designed the house. We just want a better Western region. But how will Western region look like? We never done it, so we have now done it. We have painted a picture of how Western region will be when the change comes. So
right.
Our initiative now is for the people at the top in Abuja, then for the Yoruba themselves to know that they are in bondage, that we are in a slave situation, that we have to be free from where we are now. This is a defining moment, and we are going to really put a lot of fight in the next couple of months about this matter.
That's quite interesting. If you say that the Yoruba people are in bondage, they would ask you, how? Is the president not a Yoruba man?
In fact, the more reason why Yoruba man, President Tinubu, a gentleman, we don't used to agree with him, but whether we agree with him or not, he is on the throne. Somehow, Providence gave him the chance to lead Nigeria. He is the only person who has credentials of restructuring that we know in the Nigerian system today. He ought to have done this, what we are saying now, instead of so-called fuel subsidy removal mantra. But since he has not done it, we just need to remind him that his time is expiring. If he leaves the throne, who else has credentials of restructuring? It means we are dead in the next 20, 30 years. Are we going to preach to who? The Fulani parents to come and restructure Nigeria? Or somebody from the east? So we are in the last ditch effort now. We have to do all that it takes. That's why the letter took a very conciliatory tone. We are appealing to his sense of reason, sense of good judgment, that we cannot afford not to restructure Nigeria for Yorubas to have their own space. We are not calling for secession, but we want to have our own. It's like you have a street, no fence in your street. You want to fence our own area and have a gate so that who is coming want to know. This is what we have in mind in Afenifere now.
Are you pinning it down to just the Western region because the other regions don't look serious about this same idea?
To be honest, all Yoruba now to say we don't care, we just want, I'll take care of my children now. My children is my children, my house is my house. My family is my family. If the whole street don't want to put fence around their house, I want to put fence around my own. Is that not a fair way to think? The whole street has no fence, everything is, and yet thieves are coming anyhow. Okay, we are saying, let us ward our own area. We want to control the area. Let others do what they like. But in fairness, others want the same thing. Even the South Side want resource control. They want to be on their own too. But Yorubas are always the leaders. We led in 1954. We led in 1979 with Along democracy. UPN was a good government then in Yoruba land. We want to lead now. So others will follow us. They will follow us.
All right, others will follow you, but let's talk a bit about this draft constitution for Western Nigeria. Earlier, before I brought you on, I was sharing some bit of summary of the entire document based on what I have read. But again, I'll just like you as the author to give us a brief of what are the key parts of this draft constitution for the Western region?
Oh, fantastic. We just want to be governed in a very modern way. What we have now in Nigeria's situation is governance for politicians, by politicians. Everything is about winning. Once you win, you control allocation coming. All the governors are just on their own. Nobody can challenge them. The commissioners have no voice. All that stuff, they have no voice. They just use one live vote to control the money in all these 6 states in Yoruba land and then all over Nigeria. The thing has to change now that we want citizens to take control of their affairs. If we have a parliament in Western region, parliament members will be in charge of government. The premier or whoever he is just one of the elected members of parliament. It will become a premier by the grace of his colleagues who are equally elected. And they can pass a vote of no confidence in him. They will appoint commissioners for him, also from inside the parliament. Leaders in Yoruba land has no right to take his friends, his girlfriends, No. You are elected to be coordinator of government. And if we have 100 parliamentarians in Western region, it is from there that you will draw your commissioners. They are equally elected like you. You see the fundamental change? Very fundamental. Number two, in the past, Western region, we actually have a unitary government those days. Only that we were lucky that Awolowo was a very good man. He was a good man at heart. He didn't cite OAU in the Kenne. He didn't cite Cocoa House in Ijebu-Remo. He didn't cite Liberty Stadium in Abeokuta. He honored the fact that Ibadan is the capital of the region then. He was a civilized individual. But what we have today now is not the kind of people we have. So, in the proposal now, governors will not be in one location where everything will be on the state capital. No. We copied the model from South Africa. In South Africa, the seat of government is in a different town. The judiciary is a different town. The legislature is a different town. And if you have 15 ministries, you group them into maybe 3 or 4 or 5. Cite each one in what you now have as states. So all the area components of Western region, we have regional presence. It's not going to be centralized in the Ibadan again. There are so many things in the document that
yes,
I can talk, but let me just wait for the questions.
Indeed. And one of the things that the document talks about, interestingly, is a remapping of some sorts, of the current system. It abolishes the style of states and instead says some of these states become provinces. And you made 2 inclusions that are really interesting. One is the Igbomina people from the Igbomina province from carved out of Kwara State. And then you also have the Okun province carved out of Kogi State. And then you went ahead to say that, see, we would also like to integrate Delta and Edo, that's Ishekiri axis, Ishekiri region in Delta State, and Akoko Edo, axis too from Edo. But we would let those 2 decide, if they want to be a part of this or not. What has influenced that thought process?
One of the injustices built into Nigeria in 1959 was the British. They connived with the North that time. to draw the map of Nigeria so that the north will be bigger than the rest of the country, so that they can dominate. But because people wanted to be independent at that time, they said we'll take over it, we'll do it later, we'll do it later. They didn't want to do so many problems at that time. Eventually, it's only Midwest region that was created in 1963. But for the mismanagement of the politics that led to the coup in 1966, there were many more boundary readjustments in the structure of Nigerian nation. Midwest was created to be a region. There will have been more creations if not for the fact that the system was terminated. It was terminated because the Fulanis were overbearing. They connived with Akintola to want to take over Western region, and Yoruba didn't like it. Up to now, Akintola is not a popular person in Yoruba land, up to now. In fact, when he was killed, I was old enough to know that people rejoiced that Akintola was done. Himself and Fani Kayode is a fact of history. Yorubas wanted out. So Ilorin is a Yoruba town. Geba is a Yoruba town. Mokwa is a Yoruba town. Ofa is a Yoruba town. Mopa is a Yoruba town. Kaba is a Yoruba town. Emir Ilorin is an aberration. So, and the people are conscious. We are consulted. The Afenifere members. There is former Colonel Osadebayo who was governor of Kwara State. Is a bona fide Yoruba person. Okay, we drew a map now. It's a proposal. The correct procedure is to do a plebiscite. Listeners, we know that it's a plebiscite that made some of the people in Cameroon now to leave Nigeria. The Southern Cameroon now, through a plebiscite, decided that they would not be with the Igbos. They would go to Cameroon. There was plebiscite in 1962. There was a voting. People voted that they don't part of Nigeria. Then Adama province in the north, they voted to be part of Nigeria. It's a plebiscite. So the leaders want to part of Yoruba land. Under the new proposal now, it's not by force. There will be a voting referendum plebiscite. People will decide formally, yes or no. Do you want to join our Yoruba people? If they want to join, fine. If they want to join, we are giving them a perfect landing. They are not coming to be slaves to Ijesha, to Ijebus, to Egba. They will be on their own. The Gomina land will be status of a federated unit in Yoruba land. The Okuns also have the same status, like Ekiti State, like Osun State, like Oyo State now. So we are welcoming them with open arms to be free. They are not coming to become under bondage of the existing 6 states.
But doctor,
on their own.
But doctor, don't you think that this is going to create some bit of ground for insecurity? Because we will definitely find people who are not who are opposed to this arrangement and would go all the way to fight it out, even if it means resorting to uncivilized means. Don't you think that this idea in itself is likely to instigate or incite violence?
Look, my listeners and my brothers, when you want to argue back to a new child, some children come very naturally. The woman will never know that they are delivered the baby. Some childbirth are very difficult. You have to do cesarean section. Is it not true? So the birth of a new Western Nigeria might come so flawlessly that we will not even know that it has happened. Like you deliver a baby, a woman will go to labor within 2 hours, the baby has come. Some women also have 3 days of labor and blood with plenty. But the problem is that you want to have a new child. You cannot have a new child without some blood. We pray the blood be very small, not plenty. But you cannot be fearful of blood and you be in the maternity ward. It's not possible. It's just an act of nature. So we pray that the blood will be very minimal. All countries of the world, there is no way you bring change, fundamental change, that some people will not resist. But will majority prevail? Will good reason prevail? That is the question.
All right. So one of the things that you're asking for is that, see, this Western Constitution can exist alongside maybe the 1999 Constitution, but you know that this is also going to be a ground for some inevitable legal conflicts that would happen. So are you prepared for what does this Constitution, this draft, does it put into consideration what may likely happen if there is a clash, between the 1999 Constitution and also this draft? Or are you hoping that for this Constitution to even be accepted in any way, it means that we are going to have to abolish or do a complete overhaul of the 1999 Constitution?
What we are asking for, you see, I'm not going to sugarcoat it at all. When you have a marriage, the man will tell the wife, look, I'm fed up. I want to kick you out of my house. The wife might so say, look, I'm being oppressed in this marriage. I want out. Family will rally and say, look, what is the problem? If there's a good discussion about the problem now, there will now be definition of rules and boundaries. If the husband used to smoke, we agree the man should not smoke again. If the man is a drunkard, we agree that he should not be drunkard again. If the woman goes out, no control, we say, take care of your family, take care of your children, stay in the house. Once we agree on rules, the marriage might be sustained. Are you with me?
Yeah, we're listening.
So, this thing now, we are saying we want out of Nigeria the way it is. If Nigeria is going to be the way it is now, we don't want it anymore. We will now discuss in Nigeria. There was a talk in Aburi in 1967. Listener will remember there was Aburi talks.
Yeah.
Ojukwu wanted to leave Nigeria. They agreed, but the agreement was not implemented. So Ojukwu chose to leave Nigeria then. We will not use Ojukwu method. We will not declare war. But now, from now onwards, when this document is presented to the government, present to all leaders of Nigeria, we are not going to rest again. This fight is not for me as an individual. It's not for Afenifere as a body. It's a fight of principle. It's a fight for justice. It's a fight for fairness. The Yorubas are the most damaged by Nigeria. All of us, there is no family in Yoruba land now whose children are not overseas. They want to go out because you train your child, degree, masters, PhD, is roaming around. Then they go and be washing dishes in UK, in the US. Nigerian also cannot stay at home. The best of us have left Nigeria and they are still living. And Yorubas are not traders like Igbos. Yorubas don't like to trade, to import counterfeit things, counterfeit that, and be selling and make money. We know we are not like that. We work with our hands. We are professionals. We are not Fulanis. Fulanis who are raising cows. They don't want to plant grass.
But you know that. But doctor, you know that is more or less a stereotype, because we have a lot of people too from these regions that you have referenced that are into several other things.
I know. Look, there is no family that has no vagabond. There is family of Moluabi. If majority of the family is criminal, then family is dead. But if one or two of family members is a drug, everybody will deal with him. No, we are not saying Yorubas are full of all sin, but as a society, we are Omoluabis.
Yeah, but don't you also think that others too are Omoluabis?
And let them do it in their own homeland, fine. Let them go and go and be in your house. No problem now. If you want to operate in our territory, we have rules that this is Yoruba land. The idea of no man's land, the idea of insulting doesn't arise anymore.
But the Yorubas tend to be, the Western people tend to be accommodating. This idea of wanting to build a wall, are you sure it's not completely different from the true Yoruba point of view, especially the Western point of view?
If you are so generous, a visitor come to your house and decide to rape your daughter, will you allow it? If you have a visitor who comes to stay in your house for some period, because you are very gracious, you are very nice, you accommodated him or her, and then your daughter who is in SS3, the visitor is trying to molest her, and you say, oh, you are a good man, you don't want trouble. Is that the normal way to think? Any visitor that comes, look, in Ibadan, the Lebanese have been there for more than 100 years. Lebanese, you will not even know that they are not Yoruba. They speak Yoruba fluently. But do they challenge us? Do they say, oh, they want to become governor of your state? Do they challenge us to say they want to become a member of parliament, also assembly? The Lebanese, they are with us. They know their rules. They know that they came here to do business and have their family. Yes, it's allowed. Most of UAE is foreigners. But foreigners have rules. And we won't set up the rules now to be, you are coming to do business in our land. Live with us, fine. We will live in your own area too. There will be an agreement, reciprocal. Yoruba man that finds himself in Onitsha, this is how you should be able. Don't go and become the Obi of Onitsha in that place. And no Igbo man can come to become the G of Akure.
But we know that is not possible under certain circumstances.
Yeah, but they know that want to become a shipper, they want to become a ballet, they are appointing themselves as chiefs. There should be of Yoruba land. All those things nonsense, we have to change now.
But we also have leaders of Yoruba communities too in those places, in the southeast.
Reciprocity means we make it. Don't go and be separated, so don't go and cause trouble. If your son is in UK, do you want him to become a criminal there? When the rule is defined.
Doctor, please, for choice of words, please, because we're in public and we have a lot of people across regions who listen. Yeah, so just
No. Yoruba will not be encouraged to go and be criminals in other lands. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
We will tell them, if you see any Yoruba man that doing this in your area, we will not support him or put him in prison. The same reciprocal rights will be granted you if you are in Yoruba land too. Any Yoruba man can be criminal in Onitsha or in Kaduna, wherever. But if you now say from now onwards, there is no Oba of Yoruba of Kano, no Oba Yoruba of Umaya, because we will not tolerate Igwe also in Yoruba land. That's what the rule. Reciprocity is the rule. What you cannot take, you will not give it to the others. That's the rule of proper regionalization.
Doctor, I don't want to deviate so much, from the content of this proposal because it's something that there are other key parts that we have to take a look at. But I'm just a bit curious as to how did we move from a country, that took pride or that takes pride in living, having this much ethnic groups. A country where you had a case where an Hausa Fulani man can be the mayor of Enugu because the people of Enugu embraced him. Instances where you can have perhaps a Yoruba man serving in government, in the northern region. Or you also have a case where, even in the south, we also have people from the southeast or from any other part of the country also representing the people. How have we moved from that to this idea of sectarianism, where people want to say, hey, you're not from this area, you're not from this axis, and so you should stay. Even if you were born here, even if you've spent 50 to 60 years here, we still do not see you as one of us.
Life itself is about evolution. You evolve, then you learn from experience. Experience is the best teacher. Pendulum will swing from one end and swing to the other. I give an example of a family taking a guest into the house. It might stay for 1, 2, 3, 4 years. By the time it starts to attempt to rape the daughter of the house, it will be time up. Once you maintain civilized bounds, the example you gave, those are aberrations now. I can use one example to define the norm. In statistics, you have outliers. It's called outliers in statistics. Just 1%, 2% extreme. You can't make that to be majority now. Majority is that my family should be ruled by my family members. If other people come and rule my family, I become a slave now.
But we have that in the UK, where we've seen people who are not originally from the United Kingdom come in and then take on the position of leadership. You look at the present Tory leadership, regardless of our own claims, you know that Kemi is obviously not from the UK, but obviously a Yoruba person who has become popular. You look at the former the former Prime Minister of the United Kingdom, and you see that, this person is from the Middle East. That's a family from the Middle East and not from the UK. Even Nigerians, even the Yoruba people, like to always celebrate it when you have their own people from the Western region go over there and occupy public offices. So why is this a problem?
Very interesting, very interesting. The example you gave is so nice. Britain occupied India, they occupied Australia, they occupied Canada, they occupied Nigeria, they occupied Ghana. They plundered the resources from these countries. Britain has nothing. Everything Britain has now was stolen. Even they stole the artifacts from Benin, from Ife. So we have a right to occupy Britain because they plundered us. They plundered all over. In fact, Britain is the greatest plunderer. They plundered the Chinese. They introduced opium to destroy the society. Now that Kemi Badeno is not pushing back, anybody who is in Britain has right to it because their forefathers contributed through slavery. That's a different thing entirely. The Yoruba man plunder Igbo land. The Yoruba man plunder Hausa land or Fulani land. It doesn't exist. It doesn't apply at all. We have right to Britain because all they have in Britain was drawn from Nigeria, from Ghana. So Britain cannot even talk at all. They can't talk. They only everybody knows it's just whispering. They cannot talk because what is Britain? Britain has nothing. They don't make anything anymore. That's a different issue entirely.
Okay.
In Nigeria here, Yorubas, Yoruba land, Igbos are guests, Hausas are guests in Nigeria because Lagos became the capital of Nigeria. So everybody has to come towards Lagos. We didn't choose Lagos. It is the Portuguese that chose Lagos as capital of Nigeria in the first instance. So being federal capital from 1960 to about 1987, it has its own value. So we have to accommodate them a little bit. You can't see as many Yorubas in Igbo land as you see them in Yoruba land now. This is how history has come about. But we come to a time where the push is becoming a shove. And we have to say, no, please stay within certain boundaries. Federal capital will be moved from Lagos to Abuja. So we don't have that advantage anymore. If Lagos was still capital of Nigeria, we will not be able to talk to, because other Nigerians have to come to the capital. I hope you get my point, listeners. Lagos is no longer capital of Nigeria. The residual effect of Lagos being capital of Nigeria is where we have so many people in Yoruba land. How many years now since Lagos has moved to Abuja? Let everybody go to Abuja, not come to Yoruba land. But people have been Yoruba land. We're not going to drive you away, but be civilized. Respect yourself, and we will respect you. That's what you are preaching. But Yoruba did not exploit any other land to come and build their own. We have no record of cheating that the British had all over the world. That is truth.
All right. So I'm curious as to how would this then apply to, because yes, you also talked about citizenship, by successive paternal lineage in that particular constitution. And people would all usually reference Lagos as, a cosmopolitan area. You have a case where somebody a lot of people actually from Ogun State, or even from some other states across the southwest, come and then take office in Lagos State. How will this constitutional review or this proposal change that dynamics? Is it going to stop a case where people from other regions can, decide to either choose their citizenship or be representatives of any other province around the western region, or now it's going to be only people who are proven to be from that lineage or from that province based on paternal lineage, as the proposal has suggested?
Constitution is an aspiration, it's a wish for the best. And in the way when you implement an idea, it might evolve over years. We all remember the time that Obama was running the U.S. There's a rule in the United States that you must be born inside U.S. by a parent that was born also in the United States. There is an issue about Obama. Eventually, though his father is from Kenya, but he was born in Hawaii. So it was allowed to run. Everything will be taken on case-by-case basis. The rule now is that we are not Ghana. In Ghana, if a woman's line, you can become a citizen in Ghana. That's their law. In Nigeria, in Yoruba land, you inherit your father. Even in Igbo land, women don't even have rights at all that Yoruba women have. They don't have rights. It took a Supreme Court judgment about 5 years ago to make a woman to be able to inherit property in Igbo land. That's a fact of truth. Women have no right to inherit. If you give back to children, their uncle will inherit the property, not the direction. That's the way it is in Igbo land until the Supreme Court make a judgment. So, in Yoruba land, we are partner in society. We have to correct that and retain that. We have to start correcting all the aberrations. It's not going to be like we switch on light on the wall. It will be gradual. This document I produced now is for education. For people to know the right thing to do. If you are doing the wrong thing, you'll be aware there will be a wrong thing. If I come to the streets of Lagos now, I start urinating on the roadside. I myself, I know it is wrong to urinate on the roadside. Because it's wrong. But I must still do it because I'm pressed. But people looking at me will know, why are you urinating on the roadside? It's wrong. Are you getting my point?
Yeah, we get
So
you.
there will still be instances where people will shout, say no. When people shall say no, there is no. But don't use impunity to impose yourself. If indeed we have somebody who have stayed in Yoruba land for 60 years and the community accepts him by acclamation to say you are one of us, like LKJ, Latif Jakonde is not from Lagos, he's from Kogi State. But he rendered service through the Nigerian Tribune all his life. He fought for Yorubas in the 50s and the 60s when Awolowo was jailed. So nobody can oppose Lateef Kayode Jakonde from being governor of Lagos. He was not a pretentious Lagos person. What we have now are people who just come from abroad. They've not lived in Nigeria at all for the last 30 years. So they are from Osun State. They now come and say, I want to become governor of Lagos. We know that is wrong. That is wrong. So the society will make a case on case-by-case basis to deviate from what is in the norm. I gave you Jakonde's example now. Nobody was able to raise eyebrow because Jakonde has lived in Ibadan all his life, running the Nigerian Tribune for Awolowo. So nobody knew that he's from Kogi State at all. That's why he has become.
That's relatively new information for a lot of people.
Oh yes, it's true. And when he chose Rafiu Jafojo, a Muslim, to be his deputy governor, nobody raised any brow at all. That's why you don't even know he's a Muslim at all. You won't know. He put his religion totally in his house. So nobody was attacked on the, oh, he's a Muslim, he's wearing hijab. No. So there are people you know that this might just an opportunist. You will know it. He's an opportunist. You know? You also have done series of community services that show that you love the people over 10, 20, 30 years. The community have accepted you, then you be an exception on merit. But not because you have money to buy delegates, then you become governor of Lagos. You use money you got from all kind of smuggling. That's not going to be right. That's your truth.
Okay. All right. Because you've continued to reference Lagos, I'm wondering, is there something or somebody in mind, or this is just a scenario?
No, Lagos is the place where all Nigerians have been living because of the accident of Federal Capital in Lagos. Lagos attracted all sorts of people, not only from outside Yoruba land, but all Yorubas too.
Okay, so one of the other things that I've always asked is, what do the Yoruba people of the Western region, what do they really want? What do the people of the Southwest, what do they really want? And you're indicating that this draft proposal is the answer, which is, hey, what the people of the Western region want is that they want to be self-governed. They want to serve themselves. They want to take charge of their own affairs. But the question on the minds of a lot of people who are probably listening this morning is, now that Dr. Akin Fakmoda has given us this proposal, this proposed constitutional draft for the Western region, who mandated him to write the future for over 50 million people?
Thank you very much. I'm just a person who I would say I've been blessed to be able to write this document. But Afenifere have been on this in 1999. They have been saying we want Nigeria to be restructured so that there will be resource control, the regional control, the regional police. It has been on the mantra before I was even going politics. This was Senator Debbie, Senator this, all of them, they preached. But they were preaching alone. They were preaching, said this is what we want. We want to build a house. We want the house to have 10 bedrooms. We want the house to have toilet. Everybody have been talking about it. But with time now, it has evolved now where we have the architectural design of the house. I don't know whether you get my point.
All right.
We have been talking that we are living in a very dilapidated house. It's not very good. We want the land to be partitioned into areas so that everybody can build his own house the way he wants. And we have been talking about it. Now, I wrote this document, but it's because we have series of meetings within Afenifere and outside, Yorubas in diaspora, Yorubas at home. I just put into words what people have been saying is not my sole idea. In 2018, I was a member of the Voice of Reason Yoruba land that was created by Mr. Buki Omishore. The man has died now. The man even willed 100 million naira to the organization before he died to show and to favor restructuring. I was the one that drafted a better constitution for Nigeria in 2018. It was launched in NIA in Lagos. So I'm not just coming to this from nowhere, no. Significantly, I've been on it since 2017, 2018, and I'm not giving up on it. So the idea is not just mine. It is an idea of a broad section of educated Yorubas who are above 60, who knew Nigeria when Awolowo was in charge. Awolowo ruled for only 6 years, 54 to 1960. That's all they ruled. And that time, he laid foundation for Cocoa House, for Liberty Stadium, for everything we are enjoying today. He also wrote a book in 1947, Path to People's Republic, saying how Nigerian Federation should be governed. So it's the same thing. We are evolving. We are doing the same thing. Nothing new. I'm just lucky to be chance to put this together in the document. But it's the voice of majority of Nigerians who are Yorubas, who knew how Yoruba land was in 1954 to 1960. Since that time, we have been living on that period. We are not doing anything new. We are not doing anything new. We are not built any cocoa house again in Yoruba land. Can you imagine? Cocoa house was built from 1950 to early 60s. Do we have any 20-story building again in Yoruba land? We don't. That's really terrible, really terrible.
All right, I've been speaking to Dr. Akinfakunda. Dr. Akinfakunda is Director of Research for the Afenifere. He is also the architect behind the draft constitution for a proposed Western region. You can be a part of the conversation. Just go to our YouTube at Damimogo 93.1 FM and watch the conversation there. Just also make sure that you drop your comments. You're also live on TikTok. And we'll open the phone lines shortly so that you can reach out via the phone lines, which we will call in a moment. 0805 588 193. 0805 588 193. Don't worry, in another. Okay, the calls are coming. We will just take one before we continue with the rest of the conversation. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. Okay, well, yes, just in another 2-3 minutes, we would allow you to be able to call in and make your contribution. So just hold on a bit. One of the interesting things you've written in this proposal, Doctor, is that you want the executive governors to be abolished and replaced with provincial administrators. My first question on that is, how does this completely differ? How are you sure that the individuals who would become provincial administrators will not be find a way to take on as much power as the current executive governors?
Let me give an example. Let's say I'm from Osun State. I'm from Malaysia in Osun State. If I now, first of all, I won't compete to be a provincial administrator. I will not. I will compete to represent my people in Elisha
regional parliament.
Municipality.
Okay.
When we get to Shugbo, there might be 30 or 40 of us who have been elected from Elisha municipality, from Igbo, from Ife, from Odeomu, from Ikirun. It is then that we now meet who among us can lead the government of Osun State. We will change our CVs. And, they said of upon that read agriculture is an IT person, okay. And then I will campaign, can I be the leader of the government? In the parliament there, they will elect me as leader of the government to cross from the legislator to the executive. They will elect me. If you elect somebody now, you can withdraw election again later if you're not doing well. Again, who is going to be the commissioner for agri, commissioner for wars, also to be elected from members of the parliament. They will be member of parliament, not from outside. If I'm the provincial administrator for Osun State, I have no power to do anything on my own. I must sit in parliament every week because I'm first a member of parliament. They don't need to summon me at all. Constitutionally, I'm a member of the parliament. All my cabinet and government were also members of parliament. At least once a week, we must sit with all our members to tell them what we are planning to do. Are you getting my point?
Yeah.
So, and I will not be in the government, in the document, I must not appoint any special advisor. I must appoint only civil servants who are career officers to become my special assistant, to become my this, to only civil servants who are salary paid, not to go and bring my wife, my children, everybody to come and become in the governor's office. No, no. We want to make it a position of service. You ought to have accomplished something in your life. You are not looking for your first cell phone. You are not even looking for your first jeep to become a leader in Yoruba land. It all you ought to have become accomplished for your colleagues to vote you in. You are not going to do the way it is now. If I want to become governor of Osun State, I have to appoint somebody in Igbo, in Odeomo. People don't know me. I live in Abuja. But because I have big money, I will appoint campaign people, and I will have people going to read for me, and I become governor. Okay, look, let me give a practical example. Seyi Makinde never lived in Oyo State, because seriously, he never lived. He was based in Port Harcourt. He was enjoying contracts with the oil companies. But he made money. He declared 2 billion assets when he became governor. He never knew Oyo State at all, but he had money to buy delegates. That's just the truth. I'm not saying he did anything wrong.
Do you have proof that he bought delegates?
Okay, if you don't buy delegates, how do you win the 100% system?
So
you have to pay that transport minimally. If you want to do primary now, if you don't pay transport, 20,000, 50,000, will they come to voting center?
All right. So how are you sure that, are you ready for the political war that the governors are likely to wage against you and this document? Against Afenifere, this document? Because what you're implying is that you want to make them less powerful if some of them eventually even become provincial administrators.
No, valid question. It is not me to fight. Do we want to, or every individual Yoruba person, do you want to remain slaves to the governors the way it is? We are the one to say no, not anymore. And then, if you are serving now, you will serve your term. We are not saying you should resign immediately. You are elected under a process. You finish your term. The person coming after now has a different dispensation. Then you will know that's under a new rule. It is not immediate effect, military imposition, no. Makinde will serve his term. Adeleke will serve his term and finish. Under a new term, once the constitution is promulgated into law, the new rule will apply. And I would not need to spend money. Once, if I say I'm running from Osun State now, I will campaign Ilesha where I'm from. My name is known among Ijishas. If they take me as a Moluabi that can represent them, I don't need to campaign even. My name alone is enough. My family history is enough. I don't need to be introduced to Ijisha people. But I need to be introduced to Igbo people. I need to be introduced to Ife people because they don't know me. But I went to Ilesha Grammar School. For secondary school, for HSC, all my classmates, majority are Ijishas. So if they vote me in, it's to honor me for my service to Ijisha people. I don't need to pay for it. In fact, they have to come and beg me to say, you represent us very well. This is what we are asking for. If I now come to parliament in Oshogbo, and they will have told other people, this Ijisha man is a nice person. He has done this, what he has done with his life. He's not asked to make money anymore. He has his own car. His children are all graduates. So you'll be based on what you have achieved in your life. It will be known by your people in your own locality.
Okay.
You carry it forward.
All right, Doctor, I'd just like you to hold your thoughts a bit while we take a couple of reactions. Hello, good morning. Okay, we lost that call. I hope that you can call back again. 0805 5888 192. 0805 5888 193. 0805 5888 193. Pardon me, 0805 5888 193. Hello, good morning.
Hello.
Yes, good morning.
Good morning. This is Salah Tafik Olainka calling from Ikorodu.
All right, Mr. Olainka, good morning to you. Let's have your thoughts.
Yeah, I really appreciate everything your guest is saying. But I want to know what is going to be the role of Kwara State and Kwara State and Kogi Yorubas in the constitution the doctor over there is talking about. I want to know the role of the Yorubas from Kwara and Kogi in the constitution.
Okay, because I think he answered that earlier, but well, it's an opportunity to recap again. Doctor.
I can recap.
Yes, you can.
We currently have 6 states, Yoruba land. But we know for a fact that the governors are Yorubas. We know for a fact that Oguns are Yorubas, and they have expressed their preference that they are Yorubas. So we are granted in land area. The Igbominna land is bigger than current Ekiti state in land area. Because from Ofa to Ilorin to Mokwa to Jeba, they are all Yorubas. In Okun, Aba, even up to Lokoja. In territorial spread of land, they have the land space equivalent to Ekiti or Osun. Only Oyo is very big. Ogboi is also very small. So we are giving them the status of the existing 6 states. Don't forget that this constitution now, we are not to oppress anybody. Ibadan is not going to oppress Ekiti, because Ekiti will be bona fide on their own too. You run your administration, you only pay contribution to run the regional government. And regional government is not going to be in Ibadan alone. Regional government will be divided into 8. In one area, there will be legislature, they will meet in one location. The government will meet in executive in one location. Judiciary headquarters, chief justice will be in a different location. The ministry dealing with utilities, electricity, roads and all that will be together in one place. Ministry dealing with education, health, sports, will be grouped together, located in another state, like that. So, in the document there, we already split all government outfits to make sure that there be regional presence in each of the 8 provinces.
And before I take any other call, I would like to ask a question around that. You talked about splitting, having ministries, agencies in different provinces. You talked about having the executive also in Ibadan, having the legislature in Oshogbo, having the judiciary in Akure. Do you think that the Western region, the people of the Southwest region, have the cost? Have you put into consideration the cost of running all of these things from all these different places?
Very good question. Do you know, in my school in Abuja, it's a secondary school. I have started working in the United States. I have Starlink satellite link in my school, just a small secondary school. I have staff employed to work in the United States, and they are working. They resume at 2 p.m. because it's already 8 a.m. in US, and they work till 11 p.m. I'm just giving a practical example that in that condition, the region will invest in fiber optics linkage with all the capitals, so that you have seamless internet service between the eight capitals. Fiber optics link will be, initially we might subscribe to Starlink or whatever, but we are going to run the government with internet. We are not going to be pushing paper around. No.
And you think that would be effective, because even international corporations now are saying that, see, this remote thing doesn't look like it works really well.
But you know what we have now is an hybrid. If I said that everybody should be in Ibadan, that's a different thing. Some responsibility will be in different areas. So when you have Ministry of Sports, Ministry of Health, Ministry of Education together, at least you are running a functional unit to deal with social services. So it's an hybrid. We are going to have hybrid. And don't forget that the world is moving in the area of artificial intelligence now. The way the world was 5 years ago, is it the same now? 5 years in future too, the world is going to technology. So we're going to use technology to manage. And in any case, life is about solving problems. The problem to be solved now is that we don't want to centralize government in the background. It can't work anymore. We have to decentralize. The same we want Abuja to be centralized. We don't want to come into Abuja alone. We want to decentralize Western region too. So that each people will have a sense of belonging, sense of presence. You give a little, no doubt. You give a little, but you win more.
All right, so let's take more reactions. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Please turn down the volume on your radio set.
Good morning, sir.
Yes, good morning to you. Turn down the volume on your radio set.
I've done that, sir. How are you, sir?
Yes, fine, great. What's your name and where are you calling from?
My name is Comrade Yusuf.
Comrade Yusuf. Good morning to you,
How
Comrade
are you,
Yusuf.
sir?
I'm doing great this morning. Thank you very much.
How was your weekend?
Yes, fine. And I must once again congratulate you on this fasting that we are all doing. May God continue to strengthen us.
Now, my question to our guest is just simply when he started. He said the politicians, the way they are, that it doesn't, that they are doing things for themselves, not for the masses. And how are we sure all these templates will not fly? When we know we have those that will not arise to work. And by the time we were now referring to Georgia or the war, will they not be incarcerated for making or turning in Nigeria into an ungovernable place? So let me say better how we believe that thing can work. And if our people ready, I will tell you, no, our people are not ready. Our people are enjoying 4,000, 5,000, 10,000 being given to them during the election period. That's my take. God bless you.
So if I get you clearly, Comrade Yusuf, you're asking what would be the consequences for corrupt politicians under this current system?
Exactly.
Okay.
What will be the consequences? They are not ready to relinquish power. They tested on it. You don't want to quit.
Interesting.
That's why they are making foolish of us. The masses are the ones suffering. I'm frankly speaking, now one is ongoing. They want to housing to housing. 2 cups of rice, 1 plate of milk, share it to people, and people will start clapping for them. So God deliver us in this country. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Comrade Yusuf. Doctor, you had that question.
It's a good question, but you know, we are the Yorubas are supposed to be the most enlightened, educated set of Nigeria because we have access to education very early enough. Many of us have been withdrawn to the shell. We don't want to participate because the cost of participating is just too much. If I want to run for election now, under this present situation now, it's not possible. I have to have some money by some godfather. But the system now is decentralized. As I said, if I want to run now for parliament in Osun State, I can only need to contest in the Isha land only. I don't need to mount campaign to become the chief executive of Osun State. Once I win in Elisha, It is the parliament that will determine whether I will become the leader of government or not. So the avenue for me to invest money to run to win has been cut out. Most people spend money to win, and when they win,
How is that any different? How is that any different from what happens at the House of Assembly or House of Representatives or even the Senate level? I've seen somebody contesting for the House of Representatives who told me that he spent as much as 200 million naira to get it.
That is the point. That's the problem. Because if you are contesting for House now, you need campaign managers, you need all this, all that. As I said, now, I will campaign from my roots, from my origin only. People know me and I know them. So I don't need somebody to be my polling agent. In the 50s and 60s, you just vote and go home. The voting will be simplified and the area of contestation will be very small. We are introducing electoral college to decide on who governs. You are elected into parliament. Once you are elected, it's from there that government will be formed. That's a fundamental change. The way it is now, you run for parliament on your own, you win. Somebody run for governor on his own across the whole state. For me to run for governorship of, let's say, Lagos now, I have to go to Badagry, I have to go to Ekpe, I have to go to Kurudu, where they may not know me. And I have to now appoint agents, which I have to pay. If I'm running for governor now, next year, by now, I'll be putting people on my salary across all the state to win. But now, I will relate only Ikurudu or Ekpe, and I'm a son of Ikurudu or Ekpe. Only sons of Ikurudu and Ekpe will contest to represent Ekpe or Ikurudu. So your area of influence, your area of campaigning is very small.
But still, it doesn't rule out demonetizing the political system.
Fine. If Ijishas, who I came from, I'm 72 years old now. If I have to buy them to respect me, that's a different ball game. But human beings don't behave that way.
But you just had comrades say that people don't seem to be ready. They seem really comfortable with getting that 4,000, 5,000 naira.
Because I will give that money if I know when I get there now, I'll be the one to award all contracts. But suppose I know I have no official vehicle. In fact, if I were to win from Elisha, I don't need official vehicle. I will drive myself. I will live in my own house. I will drive from Elisha to Shogbo. It's just 30 minutes. The cost of my being a member of any level is reduced, totally reduced. I don't need enforcers. I don't need people to gather around me. I don't need polling agents at all.
Are you sure that Nigeria has not outgrown all these theories that you are bringing on board?
No,
all these proposals
the theories
bringing
was
on
what
board?
happened in 1954 when Awolowo won it, 51, 52. That was when things were even very dark. Now, I'll form a WhatsApp group, my classmates in Lesha Grammar School, my schoolmates in University of Ibadan who know me very well. That's the means of my campaigning. I don't need to print big posters to start billboards everywhere. Just my name. Fakbonda, are you running? Example, for instance, now, I was asked to come and run for president of Lesha Grammar School Student Association. I said, I'm in Abuja, I can't do it. Simple. You'll be invited because people know your track record to come and lead. You are not there because you are coming to eat.
Okay.
You are coming there because you have been chosen by people to know that you're already taking care of your own problems.
All right, Doctor, just hold on. Good morning to you.
This is Dikin Ogudele from Ijegu.
All right, Dikin, good morning.
I listen attentively to your guest. On the issue of Kwara. Kwara is tends to be in the north because of the geographical design of Nigeria. It puts Kwara above the two rivers that divided Nigeria into three. That is why they say Kwara is in the north. Now, under the new dispensation, when the restructure is done, will that be reversed Now, during the lifetime of Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe, the man, I know he's an old man like myself. When Azikiwe was the president, we called him titular president. President without office. Now, when you see that the North are having upper hand, he made a statement. I will no longer remain in a place as will be regarded as second-class visitors. He resigned his office. The man can testify to what I am saying. He went out. So when he reached there, because of Operation Weather that was going on in Western region, he called Nwafo Orisu, who was then the president of the Senate. He said we will not be able to contain the situation without the khaki boys. Hence we have 1966 military intervention. Now, my advice to the present crop, so that they will not commit the same political suicide. Let them, the Yoruba man say, tí ara wa tó bá ti mọ̀nà, ìgbẹ́ ló ń ṣe kí ni ló ń kó àwọn èrò ẹ̀yìn nínú. Àwọn tó wà, the people there this time, they don't know more than people. They were the people who enjoyed Awolowo's free primary education. I started in 1955 at the age of 11 to be schooling. So these people now, are they helping us? Let them listen and make sure the life is easy for the common man on the street.
Yeah, thank you very much, Deacon Ogunele.
The point you made.
Yeah.
Kwara, River Niger is at Jeba. River Niger point is at Jeba. So below Jeba now, offer all the other areas. 75% is under River Niger, not upper River Niger. That's a fact. So even if you River Niger as a boundary, 2/3 of Kwara now is in the south of River Niger.
Okay. All right.
Besides, they are occupied by Yoruba speaking people, Yoruba culture. They are nothing relation with Fulanis, nothing relation with Nupe, nothing at all. They are totally different. They answer Yoruba names and Yoruba everything. So that area up to Jeba is River Niger, where the bridge is.
All right. So, all right. We must look at this key part of the Constitution. I know we discussed this, I think, the first time we had a conversation, but I'm going to bring it up again. Your suggestion around whoever it is that is accused of corruption or accused of anything is deemed guilty until proven innocent, instead of the current system of being considered innocent until proven guilty. How do you think this would work effectively, especially in a situation where people tend to politicize a lot of situations?
Good question. Now, the way system works now in Nigeria, if you are charged to call for corruption, prosecution will make his case. They fight charge, they make his case, they call witnesses. You now call for defense to come and defend themselves. From that point onwards, the two will start saying he wants to go to Hajj, he's sick, he's going to London, something is happening. The case will drag on so that the witnesses will not be willing to come to court again. There are many cases dragging on like that now. What the new system says is that once the prosecutor has finished presenting his case, and the judge says it might take 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, prosecution must finish to present their case that you are accused of corruption or stealing. From the day the judge says, defense, come and open your defense, the law says you have, I don't know whether it's 60 days, 90 days to prove your case. If within 90 days you are not able to prove your case, the penalty under the law, the judge will just invoke it. On the last day of 90 days, the judge will say, okay, you're not able to prove this your case, Do you have any plea for mercy, for some whatever? Then, so what is this thing now is that the accused doesn't have room to now keep waiting and delaying and delaying and delaying, knowing that the case will never come up. You know? So once you have been accused, you have 90 days. The only is now on you to say, please, I want the court to sit on day by day. I'll bring my own counter witness to prove that I'm innocent. The way it is now is open-ended. I don't want to mention names of people who have cases now in court for the last 10 years because they keep taking adjournment and they bribe the judiciary too. But everybody's hand is tied. You only waste time for the position to prove their case. Once it's been proven and you have to come and defend yourself, then the clock starts running. Otherwise, in 90 days' time, the judge will have to decide by law, by constitution, by law. Call for mercy. If the offense is for 10 years, the judge might say, okay, you have to plead for mercy. The judge might say, okay, serve 2 years. But you have no time now to just waste the time of the society.
All right.
People will now forget.
All right.
That's the fundamental point.
All right, Doctor, in just 30 seconds, I noticed that, yes, there is the provision for, under the Provincial Assembly, you recommended something called the House of Elders.
Good.
But in this era, when we've been saying we want to have monarchs, kings, have more constitutional responsibilities, I noticed that that was missing.
That's the implication of House of Elders. Every municipality will decide whether they want a retired permanent secretary, a retired judge, a retired military person, or a number of the area to say this is an elder of a society. Do you get the point?
Okay.
Everybody, all provinces will have right to decide who to represent them as House of Elders. And they are not going to run for any election, no. You just look at, let's say I'm from Ikurudu, we say Anyango Ikurudu is going to be our leader. Okay, is taken to Ikeja. If there are 2-3 nominees from that area, it is the House of Assembly that will nominate, will decide on who they will pick. It's like you're running for Southern Union election. Do you understand?
Yeah.
You just make a speech to the assembly that I want to be the elder representing Ikurudu or representing Ekpe. If there are more than one nomination, if there's only one nomination, then you are taking. Because nobody can decide who is the elder of Ikurudu. They might pick, as I said, a judge, a lawyer, or whatever. They might even pick a 40-year-old person if they know it's an activist that can represent the area. So it's a very simple thing. But when you now come in, you are now the source of morality of the province, source of morality of the region. Because they assume that each municipality must have chosen the best of the best. Who can intervene when there's a crisis?
Yeah, but specifically, we're talking about, because now this is not limited, but I'm saying that specifically under this arrangement, what exactly would be the roles of traditional rulers?
Traditional rulers are leaders. Retired permanent secretary are leader. We just want the municipalities to decide on who they think will lead them. They will discuss among themselves. Do you want Anyango Kurudu to be going to Keja all the time? We can say no. If them I say, look, I have somebody who is a retired permanent secretary from Ikurudu. Let him be. If people say no, it's the Anyango himself that they want. The people in Ikurudu, I'm saying no. So be it. So be it. But you don't want Onofe now to be the leader of Ife people in parliament in Osogbo. Is that what we are going to? Is that what will happen? Most likely, Oni will nominate somebody as a bona fide son or daughter of Ife.
Okay.
That will be from the source of Ile-Ife. That will command the morality and respect of Ife people.
All right. Thank you, Doctor. Let's take more contributions. Hello, good morning. Hello. Okay, please keep trying. 0805 5888 193. 0805 5888 193. Not 192, 193. That's the one you should call. 0805 5888 193. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good.
Okay, I'm not sure what's wrong with that line, but hey, please keep trying. Okay, Doctor, it's been a really, really interesting time. We can't really exhaust all of these conversations because I know that it is something that we would continue to talk about. There are parts that we're yet to even fully explore at all. But one of the things that also is of interest to me is that you set a timeline for this draft constitution to come into place. You want this constitution to take effect from this year, October this year. Is that a realistic timeline?
It is. If you agreed, it may be, it may not be. But if you agree today, it will take 3 years to even achieve. So it's not as if you switch on the light on the wall that. It's just to say, agree in principle that we are switching from one to the other. Massive education from this moment on. This is my first interview on this matter now.
Yeah.
I'm contacting University of Ibadan to agree to hold a symposium on it. I'm contacting University of Malaysia to hold a series to enlighten people that look, we have a new order we are bringing in. And once we agree now, we'll split ministries into 8 locations to lay fiber optics, to connect them by internet, to run a different set of election where you don't pay so much money. There are so many things in the document that will take 1, 2, 3 years. The objective is that if President Ogboi agrees to start this thing from October, it becomes a campaign issue. And then implementation will be from 2027, 2028, 2029. It's a good agenda for him. He will become the father of modern Nigeria if he agrees to this.
All right. Hello, good morning.
Hello.
Yes, good morning.
Yeah, Mr. Sam, finally, over 45 minutes.
Ambassador Musbah, sincere apologies, yes, but let's have your thoughts quickly.
Your guest. I've been listening to him. Fantastic idea. But my concern is that Nigeria, the way how do we try to deal with this? Nigeria as a country, the way we are structured, that's why we found ourselves where we are today. Now, this idea is like a chicken, and the ox is upstairs looking. How is he going to protect this chicken from the ox and the upstairs looking at the chicken? You know how you understand me very well. How is he going to protect this? Is it the people?
Can you break this down, Ambassador Musbah? Can you break this down, Ambassador Musbah?
Okay. I'm saying,
we can hear you. We are saying that. Can you break down your question?
I should know. Okay. How is going to protect it? The people. How do you carry people, mobilize people to buy into this idea? And traditional aspect of it, where one of us wants to become a chairman, or than others. Do you remember in the times? And Agule Ramole, how do we tackle this issue? Because this issue has on ground for a long time. Thank you. Let me stop there.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
You, my brother, you alone, once you are persuaded that this is a good idea, then you are my evangelist, you are my apostle. We want to persuade all of us. When all of us, that's what democracy, massive movement of people who believe what they are saying is right. And we have to pressurize. In the beginning, I said the wall of Jericho as a Christian. Wall of Jericho was a very big obstacle before the Jews. But at a point, they mustered all energy. They surrounded the wall and they put the wall down, and the wall gave way.
Okay.
So it's not a tea party at all.
All right. Hello. Good morning.
Hello. Good morning.
Yes. Good morning. Your name?
How are you, sir?
I'm fine. Thank you.
Yeah, this is Comrade Yusuf again.
Okay, Comrade Yusuf coming back.
This system coming on board, is it going to work on the old existing program or governance, or is it going to be a new thing entirely? If it's going to be a new thing entirely, how does it going to work? If we did not pass through assembly, would they approve it? That's the question. So the system we are having on ground with all these monetized politicians we have already.
Thank you, Comrade. I think I asked a similar question too. Again, Doctor, I think you should, as we wrap up the show, it's a question that I would like you to answer once again, because again, you heard him say, is it going to run on, how is this even going to pass? Two, you know what it means when you have new wine in old skin, or old wine in new skin, depending on how it is. Are we going to have this current crop of politicians also run this new system? How is it going to look like?
It takes one leader. Tinubu said subsidy gone. The effect now is that we have petrol all over Nigeria. Is it true or false? Petrol is not available. We are not looking for petrol anymore. We must give it to Tinubu that he achieved. Suppose he now said Nigeria restructured. There will be little people will say, no, we don't want. People will, but they say, no, Nigeria restructured. So it's not going to be without, I said so that you are giving birth in maternity ward. Some births are very easy. Within 1 hour or two, the woman has already delivered the baby. Good, discharge the same day. Some pregnancies will take labor of 3 days and blood everywhere. But it now depends on us individually. The picture Afenifere is painting now, is it good? Will it democratize the society? Will you favor more people than just people who are governor, executive governor, and nobody can talk to him? But we are saying governors should be in the parliament on every 1 day in the week to answer questions, not to be invited to come and he will refuse to even come. The governor cannot be under the legislator. Is one, they are the same level. This is real democracy. So people will not change easily, I know that for sure, but we have to fight.
Okay, all right.
We go also, but fight with this.
All right.
If you hear me today, you go and tell people more, tell people that an idea is coming. We must buy into it. That's all.
All right. Hello. Good morning.
Hello, good morning, Mr. Sam.
Damlola from Alaba. Good morning. Good to know that you're able to join. I know.
I listen about very well, honestly. You guys are doing very good job.
Yeah.
And I like your meticulous way of putting things. Baba had a very good project, honestly. With everything he said, honestly, it's a very fantastic idea. And I believe that I can see things will work out. But I want to put to Baba, because I want to ask Baba directly. Our president, Ahmed Tinubu, would Baba see him as something that will endorse this kind of situation and this kind of projection? Baba see him as something that will endorse it. That is one. Second thing is, Baba said within 3 or 4 years. Personally, with the way things are going in Nigeria, I don't see that thing working out in 10 years. Because National Assembly one, we have the other people that actually dominate that National Assembly. Then Western here, how many of us here? You have the North, 90 states. Western East, you are managing 70 states. So, in fact, I see that in fact, being just put under the carpet at National Assembly. That 3 years, I don't know about to their family again. Will that thing work even in the next 10 years? Good morning.
All right. Thank you very much, Damlola. Yeah, you're the final caller for this one.
Nigerian politics on that. Look, we are just trying to do damage control. We want orderly demolition of Nigeria. If we don't have an orderly thinking way of breaking Nigeria down, it will be done by force. French Revolution, Even Soviet Union dissolved. Yugoslavia dissolved by force. This is the last effort to do this one by mere talking and reasoning. But if we don't reason, the bandits are occupying, they are coming to Yoruba land now. They have reached Kwara, they have reached Kogi. When we are overrun, we will not have time to talk anymore. I heard now that in Lekki State, they kidnap people. they are saying you go and bring 5 virgins as ransom. This is what we are facing. Either we fight with our brains now to say, no, we want to pull out of Nigeria that cannot protect us. We want to protect ourselves. In the document that's Amotekun, that will be in the boundary areas of Yoruba land. They will stop him from coming in anyhow. It's there in the constitution. So there are many things there that if we just do as if nothing is going to happen, we will be defeated totally. We will become slaves in this country. God forbid it, but we need to think. Don't let us continue holding on to what we have now. What we have now is not good. It's not ideal. This is an orderly